The day of reckoning has come. Death to mainstream cinema. Hasta la vista, bitches.
I am Cecil B. Demented, and this is a fucking kidnapping. Get down, everybody.
Long live the underground.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Medium Cool Show. Today, we're going to be going back to the year 2000. And we're going to be talking about Cecil B. Demented. Written and directed by the one and only John Waters. Starring Melanie Griffith. Do you want to lay out what it was like watching this movie for the first time? I guess you haven't seen a John Waters film before, right?
No, I
Have you?
haven't. No, I haven't.
Yeah, so what was your expectations for this film, and then how was it delivered, and then what was your preconceived ideas for John Waters?
This is like your what? Your third John Waters film?
I've seen Multiple Maniacs, I've seen Serial Mom, and then I've seen this, so yeah, it's my third one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of new to it too, and like, we have this poster over here.
The mural.
Yeah, the mural of John Waters. So he's been on our radar for a while, I feel like. And we've kind of had this come in for a long time. We're like, yeah, we need to see John Waters. We need to see John Waters. And a lot of people refer to him as Pope of Trash, you know. I know that his stuff is like very intentionally like grotesque. And he tries to really like make it like dirty and grimy with his films. And so I kind of had the idea when I was coming into this. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I really like this. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. I didn't know what I was getting into, but the kind of message that the film leaves you with is something that I can fucking get down with. It's about independent cinema. It's about valuing the artistic intentions, but it's kind of like a satire on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sort of this transgressive love letter to underground and cult cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a homage to all the great underground artists, all the really aggressive radical artists, you know, and it's kind of putting down censorship and family films and mainstream cinema and sequels, you know?
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the film, the credits that go on are like marquees for movies that are playing, and it's like Star Wars, another Star Wars, or like some like Disney film or whatever. But basically the film stars Melanie Griffith. I've seen her. She's, you know, Dakota Johnson's mom, Don Johnson's ex-wife.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that, yeah.
But she was kind of like a sexy actor. I mean, I think she's hot in this. She's more of like a cougar MILF in this, but back in like the 80s and like 70s, she was like a kind of like a hot actor. Mm-hmm. And she was in, the first time I saw her was in Brian De Palma's Body Double, which was an underrated picture. But now we have her kind of more grown up, and she's playing this really famous mainstream actor or movie star who's a diva, and she travels to Baltimore to promote her new movie, and she hates Baltimore because she thinks it's like really ugly, and she's like, why would anyone come here and shit like that?
Well, she thinks she's like too good for it. She's like from Hollywood. She's like, I'm a big star. Why the fuck would I need to do a press tour in Baltimore? Yeah. You know, of all places. Makes sense. Who the fuck wants to go to Baltimore? Yeah, because this movie is filmed in Baltimore, which is the same with every other John Waters film. It's all there. That's where he's from, Maryland. Mm-hmm. But all of his films take place in Maryland. And this one, she has a premiere for a film, and she's going to go promote it. They're going to have a screening, but the people who work in the theater are all these radical underground sort of cinema terrorists. Yeah, they all work in the theater, and you're introduced to them, you're like, oh, who are like these nervous, you know, theater ushers? Yeah. But really, they're like, the eagle is landing, like on radio and shit, and then they just hold everyone hostage, and they kidnap Melanie Griffith, and it turns out that their leader is Cecil B. Demented, their director, and he's like, you're our prisoner, but you're also going to be in our independent film. Yeah, and the disabled kid dies. Or an old grandma dies trying to save the disabled kid. Remember someone dies? Yeah, but the disabled kids, like, they're like not giving him oxygen or some shit Yeah. They roll him out, and they're like, oh, we want to help, like, disabled kids, but the kid is, like, really, really annoying. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And she's
then,
like,
yeah.
fucking hate you. She's like basically telling how annoying the disabled kid is. He's like in a wheelchair with like oxygen, but then when they kidnap Melanie Griffith and they take her for hostage, it kind of goes wrong, and like the disabled kid gets like trampled or something like that, or they run out of oxygen, or someone dies.
No, it's
someone dies.
I don't remember that. I don't think it's like consequential to anything in the movie though. I think what you're referring to is the kid, like when he's on stage and being annoying, the woman who's introducing him like takes his oxygen, like turns it down.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yeah, she turns it down, and he's like, oh, and then like they come in, and then he's able to turn it back up.
Yes, but they kidnap Melanie Griffith, and they bring him to this abandoned theater, right, where they all live.
And it's sick, and they're all tweakers.
Yeah,
like Adrian what's his name?
Adrian Grenier.
You're a big fan of his.
Yeah, because he has like a crazy career because he came up in the 90s doing all these like indie art house films for like Woody Allen, and then he did like some rom-coms. You know, like 10. I don't know if it's 10 Things I Hate About You.
No, he's not in that.
There's something he's in, but he did a lot of films. He was friends with DiCaprio, and he was part of that group of the Pussy Posse, kind of like he was maybe like a side character in the universe of the Pussy Posse with Kevin Connolly and DiCaprio and Harmony Korine, all those guys.
And then they do Entourage together in like the 2000s.
Yeah, and we also have Maggie Gyllenhaal, early role.
That's right.
Yeah, and Stephen Dorff plays their enigmatic cult leader. And he wants to create the ultimate underground film. He wants to create total cinema, ultimate reality. And he forces Melanie Griffith to be in this underground film. She's basically a hostage.
She's a hostage. And the way it goes is like she kind of slowly it gets infectious, like all their passion for it. And then, you know, at first she's like, fuck this. But then she like goes full into it. And she's like, by the end, she's like fully ingrained in the underground scene and doing it for the film. And, you know, she's like a loving member of the crew, you know? And the cool thing about Cecil B. Demented and his whole crew.
Cecil B. Demented is the name of the guy.
Yeah.
That's
the name of the dude.
Yeah.
The whole thing about him and his crew is that they're all willing to die for this film.
Yeah.
For this project. And it fucking happens, dude. Pretty much all of them, like, get offed or killed in some way.
Yeah.
You know?
And they all have a tattoo of a underground filmmaker on them.
Yeah.
You know, they have Herschel Gordon Lewis. They have Fassbinder. They have Pedro Almodovar on there and some other guys. I forgot. But it's all just a homage and love letter. And I feel like this movie, if you don't... It's like for us.
Yeah.
You know... I know all those guys. I like watching their films. Like, it's like the perfect movie for me, you know. But it's like such an inside joke type fashion, because to really get all the references, you really need to have a certain.
You have to be a cinephile for sure.
Yeah. Even though the actual plot is still pretty, you can still follow the plot if you don't know the references. But
it would not be as enjoyable for sure. It would just be a very basic movie. Yeah. But like if you know what they're talking about, it makes it like 10 times better. You know, and I love it. I thought it was really fun. It's just it's a good movie all around. And it makes me want to watch more John Waters movies.
Yeah, for sure. And this movie in itself is a cult film because it was a financial flop and kind of got negative reviews, but now it's considered one of the best of like John Waters films and one of the best cult films too. And also it has a certain edge to it that wouldn't be replicated now because you have all the like having machine guns in public, which nowadays is like a big no-no. But they have that in this. It's like has an extra like it's I feel like it's just aged better over time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still like, relatable to this day because of it's still like a battle between mainstream and underground, you know?
Yes, and it's like, it's more prevalent now than ever.
Yeah.
You know?
On God.
Yeah, because you have Marvel, you have all these other things that are coming out, they're just trying to be blockbusters, they're trying to be the next roller coaster movie, as Martin Scorsese would say. And it is important to try to keep independent cinema alive, That's what we're fighting for. If you like this channel, you're fighting for it too. So.
For sure, man. Until we go mainstream sellout mode.
Yeah, which I mean,
but
it's gonna happen.
I think we're pretty radical with our tastes. You know what I mean? Like I think we know a lot.
We go out of our way to do it. Like we enjoy it, you know, and like we go out of our way to like study film.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll sit through.
I would consider myself sort of a radical snob when it comes to my taste in films.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fucking accurate for you.
Yeah. But I still know what I'm talking about.
Oh, of course. You know what you're talking about.
This film is for me. Like I feel like a lot of the same way that they feel in the picture. And it was very like cathartic viewing experience and very surprising because I didn't know what it was about at all, really.
Yeah.
You know, and there are radical terrorists in the picture.
Yeah.
They literally are terrorists.
They are. Yeah.
Which is kind of anti sort of American in a way. Like in itself, the film is like anti-establishment. Mm-hmm. But it's still like a fun film to watch. And Adrian Grenier is he takes harder and harder drugs throughout the movie.
Yeah, he's funny, dude. He's really funny in this because he's like, I used to be addicted to one thing, but now my only problem is drugs. It's like I used to be addicted to everything. Now my only problem, I'm only addicted to one thing, drugs, or something like that.
Yeah, something. I forgot what it was.
I like when he dies in this.
Yeah,
and he's like, one last hit. Give me one last hit.
Mm.